Welcome to the Soccer A to Z, the AZ. This week's letter was you. Good show.
Yes,
Tubes,
very good. Well, I brought a bit of United States of America, American players to have played in the Premier League, and in particular goalkeepers.
Oh, and we had a good guess the goal this week as well, didn't we?
You're just saying that because you got it right, though.
Yeah, same as ever.
Yeah. Yuri Geller also gets a mention, top Exeter City fan.
And don't forget undersoil heating.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
who can forget undersoil heating.
Interesting.
Stay tuned. Oh, Tubes
Peter's
is back.
back, yeah.
Yeah,
Jesus,
he's
exciting,
shitting
isn't it?
himself,
Baby, innit, this week? Yeah. Whoa,
2
Tubes.
days to go.
Nervous?
I might have to leave halfway through, you know that.
Have you got your phone on?
Yeah, put it right under my leg here like that.
Got it
if it
switched
vibrate.
on?
Yeah.
Baby,
If you-
Thursday.
If you've not done your U, will you do it before you go?
Yeah.
All right.
Is it going to be umbilical cord?
You have umbilical cord. Right, let's go with this show. Welcome to the world's #1 podcast, Soccer A to Z, the people's podcast, saving football 1 week at a time whilst helping society.
Damn right.
Yeah.
We are working our way through the alphabet from A to Z. Today's letter is U for useless waste of space. Tubes is back. Sorry, Tubes. Helen's here.
Morning.
Hello.
Hello, Hels.
Joe is here.
Hello.
Robbie's here.
Hello.
Tubes was missed last week. Tubes is back. Tubes.
Hello.
Where were you?
We were out filming Golf Life with the legend that was Teddy Sheringham.
Save that and
Same
tell us about
birthday.
that in a minute. So
Absolutely.
you got the same birthday? Really?
Me and Teddy, 2nd of April.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was born on exactly the same day as Shaquille O'Neal
Really?
in history, yeah.
Same day and year.
He says that.
Same
He
day
says
and
that
year.
to people.
Yeah,
I was
and
born
what's
on the
he
same day
achieved
as
with his
Sheila.
I've
life?
seen him in real life. I went and worked with the Dream Team 2 at one stage. I had to do some stuff in Toronto years ago in a previous life. I mean, they're really big. I had to interview a couple of basketball players, and I've never felt so insignificant as a man. It's when they sit on the chair, their legs are, their knees are like 2 meters out from the chair. I remember getting into a lift with a load of, because I was in a hotel where all the basketball players were from all the different nations. And you get in and you just think, I'm just such a puny little man. I'm just such a pipsqueak. These guys could just rip me in half. It was.
Yeah.
It was insane, and before that, I'd felt like I was quite a unit.
Yeah, I always
Good
thought you were
use
in it.
good use of the word. Good use of the word pipsqueak
Yeah.
there.
But
Tim.
you for unit,
What a great
Lovejoy's a
word.
unit. I've never saw myself as a unit. No, what you've missed, Tubes. Last week is the backlash. There's been backlashes all over the shop, but if you thought the Soccerette backlash
I
was
saw that,
huge,
I
made
saw
the
that.
national press and all that
saw
sort of
that, yeah.
malarkey, there's been a bigger backlash this week. Pizzagate. It's a whole lot worse.
Pizzagate.
So last week, Tubes, on the Friday show, Ms. Chamberlain, First Lady of Football, we were talking about takeaway, said that her favourite takeaway was a pizza with like 6 tins of pineapple on it and a load of mushrooms, then covered in mayonnaise.
A madman's dream.
Yeah,
The nation's appalled.
it was, and then she went on to explain that on her roast dinner, which is the British meal of choice, isn't it, really? She would also put mayonnaise on that. I mean, people were absolutely outraged and disgusted. Running Rabbit Man said she's actually beyond help. Just no to all of that. Adam says she needs sectioning. That is horrendous. Lord Warnham says that's not pizza. That's a fruit salad. Absolute abomination. And then to cover it in mayonnaise is just disgusting and also sacrilegious. The roast dinner comment, I can't even go there. Simon said, just threw up my breakfast. Benzo Fergo said, I don't think that's pizza anymore. Helen, have you got any comment to say on that?
Well, it would be bleeped, but other than that, I don't care. It's my
I mean, sorry,
my
that is
food.
proper minging, though.
That
It's
is not
my
good,
food. What?
is
It's
it?
minging.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not. It's just not a sophisticated palate like us four have.
I never understood pineapple on a pizza.
No, I don't mind.
Would
it.
you not get
I
into
don't mind
I'm
it.
fine,
Would you
I'm
put a
fine.
grape
I like
on
it.
there?
I
Would
do
you
like
put a
it.
grape on a pizza? Would you put a melon?
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
I'd put anything
no. Would
on
you though?
anything.
Seriously, you put a melon on a
But-
pizza?
Hey, since working on Sunday Brunch, Joe, that's a show I do on Sunday. It has celebrity, it has music, and it has food on it. I've realised
Sounds
you can put
rubbish.
anything with anything, and I've tried this. I've tested this. You think of two random ingredients, and you Google them together. There'll be a recipe for it. So
Fire and water.
no, that's not an ingredient. Fire is not an ingredient.
What?
That's not. It's got to be food ingredients. Think of two, Robbie, and Google.
But
it. Let's
also-
think of Joe. Think of an ingredient.
Also-
Mustard.
Mustard.
Did you
Think
say
of
mustard? I said mustard as well.
Think of an ingredient. With tubes. Mustard and
Guacamole.
Peas.
Google it. Go on, Robbie. I bet it comes up. Mustard and peas. There you go. I know that will definitely go. Mustard and guacamole. See if that goes together. Helen, how is the farm?
The farm's okay, but this week I've been down to Devon. This week I needed to be with my Torquay United family this weekend. We got the awful news that Tony Bedeau had passed away. Very unexpectedly at just 45. You'll probably remember me talking about him a lot on Soccer AM back
Yeah,
in the
that
day.
was during the Soccer AM days, wasn't it? Tony.
It
around?
was.
Yeah.
He played in his first spell for Torquay. He did over 10 years. He did 95 to 06. So that proper era when I was going down every home and away game. You'll remember me singing all the Tony Bedeau songs on Soccer AM. To have a player like him at Torquay for so long, it's massive for a small club like us. But also he was just lovely, the kindest, nicest, friendliest, funniest, sweetest, just lovely, not like a usual footballer. And just everybody just flocked to Torquay United on Saturday. Loads of old teammates from that era. I mean, most of us have stayed in touch. We're all still friends after all these years, but also people I hadn't seen in donkey's years as well. But a big holler out to Jimmy Agri as well, who was brave enough to walk out and lay his shirt in the centre circle before kick-off. He was there with Joe McFarlane, Tony's godson, who's Andy McFarlane's son, who also played for us. So just this whole big Torquay United family thing. And it was beautiful and sad and devastating and horrible and lovely all at the same time. And please, nobody say anything now. Can you all just, because I'll cry and I've got through that. And there we are. Love to Tony Bedeau's family and friends.
Loyal player, as Helen mentioned, and if I could, talking of loyal players, Tubes, we've had some a backlash against your alpha loyal players, which was a long time ago, wasn't it? I mean, that was a while ago. Kevin Kelly has said, I discovered the podcast late, so I'm making my way through the episodes. I've just listened to the L episode where Tubes chose loyal footballers as his topic. A pretty good one, I thought. He went on to specify that he was discounting loans from players' careers, which, whilst I think is questionable at best, I thought fair enough. But he then went on to provide John Terry as an example of someone who he admires as a one-club man. Tim mentioned Stevie G, but Tubes was quick to point out that he moved to LA Galaxy. But no one called him out on JT, who ended his career at Villa in the Championship.
But he also went on loan to Forest, didn't he, John Terry? I think it wasn't loyal player, it was one club players, and I don't think I'd mention. I think he could be wrong. So if you want to,
If it was
Pick it up
one
with
club
me.
player, if it was one club players, why didn't you do that for O? Because you did L for loyal players.
did I do loyal players?
I
Yeah,
don't
you did. I remember it. Yeah.
Loyal.
Yeah.
John Terry finished at Villa.
No, I think you've been found out. Backlash. Anyway, thank you for starting this podcast. It's brought back a lot of happy memories of watching with my dad when I was younger, says Kevin Kelly. How was Teddy Sheringham?
He was great. Really, really good.
How's his golf? I saw him play golf
Unbelievable
once. He hit the
golfer.
ball a long way, I remember.
He was just straight the whole time. He was. Do you know what? A lovely, lovely man. Great stories. Fantastic golfer. Great video. Loved him. Thought it was brilliant.
When's the video out? Is it out
It
now?
went out Sunday. Yeah.
Did it? Go on, tell us one of the stories. whet our appetite.
It was. He told a great story about Arsenal fans. Obviously, it was Spurs.
Yeah.
So he went to Man United, and in the first year he didn't win anything. So they were, all the Spurs fans were going, "Oh, Teddy, he went to Man United and he won."
And he won Airfall.
Yeah,
I remember that
so
chant.
Then he was like, "Okay." So then they won the triple the next year. So all the Man United fans were singing to the Spurs fans, were going, "Oh, Teddy, he went to Man United and he won it all." And then so he was sort of going like that, hey, like that to the Arsenal fans. And the Arsenal fans started singing, "Oh, Teddy, he went to Man United and he's still a..."
No, it was. Yeah, it was. "Oh, Teddy, he may have won a medal, but he's still a..."
yeah. And he was like, it was like fair enough.
Yeah.
When they started singing, he's like, "What are you going to sing? I've just won the treble, and he's still a..."
Weird to play to two massive teams, didn't they? United and I mean they're not massive now, either of them, but but you know, weird to play for two big teams like that, isn't it? It's like that's straight. Anyway, if you want to watch that, go to YouTube and look for Golf Live. Any other news? Thursday,
baby,
baby,
can't wait. So
Gianfranco comes.
Gianfranco. I just spoke to Gianfranco at the weekend. I love him so much.
Oh,
So you know, Godfather.
Godfather. No, that's Marlon Brando.
He's going to be a part-time dad. He's going to come and live with us and look after the baby.
Is that why you're having the house done up?
Your nanny.
I spoke to him.
You can't just throw. You just spoke to Gianfranco. What did you speak to him about?
I asked if he wanted to come back on Golf Live because they're playing in the Icon series.
Right. Is he going to come back on?
And then he phoned me up. When the phone rings and his name pops up, I get butterflies.
It's never happened to my phone ever. What? That guy's amazing.
He's the best. He's my hero. I love him. I love him so. He's so nice. I love him. I love you, Gianfranco.
Let's go to Joe next.
Hi, Joe.
Joe, what have you been up to?
Joe, you better have done something this week because I'm just getting really fed up with Joe's news being just been all right this week, and that's
you were
it.
fed
Come
up,
on,
Helen.
Joe.
He was fed up.
Do you know what I have done?
Red
Do you know
mist.
what?
Red mist.
Yeah, me and Emily went on a city break to Vienna. So I have done something. Home of the Viennetta, Vienna. And I think I had one of the most cultured days I've ever had in my life. Right. We started out, there's a famous horse riding school.
Yes.
In Vienna, where you get all the horses that do all the stuff that Snoop Dogg gets excited about at the Olympics. So we went and watched
Walking
that.
sideways.
Yes, right.
Please tell me you went on the back of one.
There was only one horse doing any moonwalking, and the rest were just wandering about. That was it. Very negative.
Can I ask you a
approach.
question, though? In real life, it just looks a bit cruel to me because horses like to walk and gallop, and they don't want to walk sideways, really, and do funny little clip-cloppy hip-hop moonwalking.
Well, they weren't doing it. So.
Oh, okay.
And then we went to an art gallery after that.
Nice.
And then in the evening, get this, we went to the opera to see The Barber of Seville.
Any good?
Not really. Left at half time.
Could have cut a bit.
You left at half time?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I'd sat through an hour and a half of it.
Quite long
I
options.
mean, I don't like leaving before the final whistle, but
Yeah.
but pizza and a bottle of red was a much more enticing prospect.
But then tell us
Did you
about
both
last
leave?
night.
Yeah.
You
you were
both
leaving?
left, not just
Yeah, yeah.
you. Yeah.
Tell us about last
When you
tell
were
us about
leaving,
last
were they all
night.
like, "We can see
Right.
you
Oh, yeah.
sneaking out"?
Because we had a night in Salzburg. Salzburg's really nice, by the way. And the flight got delayed by 5 hours. So we was just stuck in Salzburg airport. And, I mean, Ryanair, to be fair, were magnificent. They kept news and updates to a bare minimum. and then were good enough to give us a food and drink voucher for £3 each.
What'd you get?
Well, I mean, this is the beauty of it. It's the choice. The options were you could have either had for half a bottle of water,
Yeah.
or a third of a cheese butty.
Nice. That's good.
I was once on my way back from Milan.
But it was an extraordinary gesture of goodwill from them.
I was once on my way back from Milan, and it was on a Ryanair flight. It was a really late flight. It was supposed to leave about 11:30 anyway. And it just got delayed, and it got to 1 a.m, and no one was coming to say what was going on. And there was some mum there there's a middle-aged mum with her kids, and she just finally flipped. She got behind the desk,
Karen.
got on the announcing thing and said, "Hello, if there are any members of Ryanair staff, could they please come to the desk now and tell us what is going on?"
Yeah, but guys, can I just point out something? You can't have everything. You can't have cheap flights and staff. You can't have it all.
You can't have pilots.
It's true. It's true. They cut costs so you can have cheap flights. You can't have it both ways. If you want service, you pay more. That's the deal. Don't look at me like that. It's true. Do you know what I got this week? Is I got a speeding ticket, and
Speeding?
yeah,
Criminal.
yeah, I'm a criminal, and I'm not proud of it. But do you know how much it was for? 24 miles an hour in a 20 zone. Now I'm not angry about
Rules
it.
are rules, though, Tim.
Rules are rules. Laws are laws. I'm a good citizen, and we're saving people's lives by driving slowly. But I just thought it. Can you imagine going back to the 80s or even 90s and saying to someone, got a speeding ticket, how much for 24? I mean, I can cycle 24 miles an hour, well, faster than 24 miles an hour. It's really weird, isn't it, how that's...
3 points on your licence, was it?
I don't know. They've just made me fill out a form and send
You'll
it
get
off.
one
But,
of
I'm a
those-
good citizen, Joe, so I don't mind, It's like, I do mind.
You'll get one of those speed awareness courses on
I've been on one of
Zoom.
those.
Oh, you okay?
I've been on
Oh,
one of
if
those.
you
Career
went for
criminal.
I've been on one of those, and I've been on with a footballer. I've been on with a footballer's mum because the footballer's dad didn't want the points, and I'm not going to say which footballer it is.
Okay.
But I was there. Do you know what I mean? When people send another person in to do the awareness course.
If you went through that
that's-
speeding sign at 20 miles over 20 miles an hour on your bike, would you get the same thing?
No, because there's no registration plate on a bike.
Wasn't there a story about a footballer recently, a couple of years ago, who'd got a speeding fine or something, and he was playing for someone rubbish, and the joke going round was you'd have thought he'd have been glad of the 3 points.
That's
Wasn't
a good
there?
joke. Yeah.
But,
Tim,
Yeah.
can I just say that it's massively illegal to make someone else take the
Yeah.
points if you were the
Yeah.
actual driver?
Yeah,
Like,
but I didn't say who it was.
okay, but the police
They're
might come and visit
accessory
you
to crime.
and make you tell them who it was
How
because
can I ever
that's
said it? I'm under the
You
influence.
say you made it up.
AI,
like
you
that.
say AI voice on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've had 2 cups of coffee this morning. I'm caffeined out of me nuts.
It's delirious.
So I don't know.
I've never had any points on my licence.
Never.
No, respect the law. That's why.
Yeah, you're a good citizen. Robbie's a good
Yeah.
citizen. Robbie, what have you been up to? You've been hanging out doing cool things, haven't you?
Not really.
you have.
My wife's been in Thailand, which has restricted my movements because I have to pick up the kids from school,
Right.
which is a joy. But my mum did come down for one night to look after them because I had to take my daughter to London to go to see a gig it was a Japanese producer called Kiko.
Kiko.
It's like some Japanese electronic music that she's into.
I've seen some footage. Go to Robbie's Instagram. You put it on, did you?
Yeah, but it was a story, so we're gone by now.
Was it good?
It was good.
I enjoyed watching it. It was a load of kids with fluorescent. No, not fluorescent.
Yeah, they looked like they had these lights. They just do it in time to the music. It was like it was a bit like looking at The Sims, the game.
Yeah.
They're all like in time doing this sort of thing. It was interesting. I mean, it's I wouldn't have gone beforehand, but I enjoyed it when I was there.
They were all sort of chanting at the same
Yeah.
time, weren't they? It's good when you see something like that, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it was at that new venue that's near Tottenham Court Road Station, that were relatively new here at Outernet. It's got bigger electronic screen stuff. You know, you come out Tottenham Court Road Station, there's all those electronic screens right in front of you. It's in that bit there. It's underground there.
Denmark Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had to put a bag in the cloakroom. Joe, you'll enjoy this. How much do you think it costs to put a bag in? It's an e-locker now.
£3.
£3.
£4.
It got expensive now, isn't it? £3, yeah. Would you be shocked to find out I had to pay £11?
£11?
Really?
Yep.
That's London for you, isn't it?
Bloody London.
Did you get any of that back?
Nah.
It's 11 quid. It's not
11
even like a
quid.
deposit or anything like
Nah.
that.
11 quid
Sickos.
to hire a locker.
Gee.
Can you imagine telling someone
Woke nonsense.
Woke
Can you imagine
Woke
telling someone in the
nonsense.
80s or 90s that you had to pay 11 quid to put your coat in, your bag in?
I remember going to, in around 2000, going to that home nightclub in Leicester Square
Yeah.
and being charged £3.50 for a bottle of Beck's and thinking, that's mental. That's actually mental.
I remember every time we went out years ago, you used to carry your rubber coat with you.
Yes, because I didn't want to pay £3 for a cloakroom. Never
All I
mind.
remember is
£11.
everywhere we went, Robbie was holding a coat.
His rubber coat.
That Ian McCulloch loved.
Right, we've got some more housekeeping here. Michael says, in reference to Tim's coin toss deciding games, this was Tubes. If you missed it last week, in 1966, the World Cup final would have been decided on a coin toss if it was all level at 90 minutes, which we thought was absolutely amazing. Anyway, in reference to Tim's coin toss deciding games, West Ham also benefited from this in the Anglo-Italian Cup in 92-93. And it says here, West Ham qualified for the international stage of the 92-93 Anglo-Italian Cup by winning a coin toss against Bristol Rovers. The coin toss was reportedly conducted over the phone. That's brilliant. That is a call it. Sorry, mate. It's tails.
Sorry, mate. It's tails.
That is unbelievable. And there wasn't even video calls in 90. Can you imagine telling someone in the 80s? I've gone. Wow.
They should make it more exciting and do, if they are going to use coin tosses, do it in the stadium with a massive coin dropped from a helicopter into the centre circle.
Yeah, make it
class, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Saturday night it up a
That's
bit.
just like rolls into the crowd kills
Or
10
they've
people.
got to do keep-ups with it. They've got to do at least 5 keep-ups before it spins and lands.
Oh, yeah.
Something like that. So they've got to send their talented player out. Craig said, should Tim serve a 1-letter ban for not coming up with his own offering for the letter T, bringing the game into disrepute, not in the spirit of the game, etc., etc.? Well, you know, maybe that's the case.
For not coming up with what for tea?
Because I didn't come up with my own. Mark came up with it, didn't he? Coin toss.
yeah.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
I tried something different
Okay.
and used a member of the general public.
Phoned a friend.
I phoned a friend and Mark came up with the coin toss idea. You'll be pleased to know that I've banned Mark now from talking to me. I only hang out with winners.
Mark is gone.
Fraser.
Yeah.
So Mark
Mark
is out.
is gone.
I've dispatched him.
Dispatched.
I've dispatched him. Andy said, what's wrong with football? Blackpool being an answer to who plays in orange in the quiz. Right answer is Tangerine. Yes, we are petty about it. We had quite a few people saying that because in the quiz last week, I was something like not last week, a few weeks ago, name 3 teams who play in orange or something. And we had Blackpool as one of them.
Is there a difference between orange and tan?
Well, I've
There
looked
is.
into it, but if we're truthful, when Blackpool were good, they were playing in black and white. However, that's a joke. Did you get that one? That's very funny. Tangerine is a specific shade of orange that is more reddish orange than most other orange varieties.
Nonsense.
Yeah, I've just looked up tangerine on Wikipedia. It says orange-coloured citrus fruit.
Well, no.
If someone says to you, what colour is a tangerine? You go orange.
Yeah.
Don't you?
They go tangerine.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We threw out Wolves because they said no, that's
Old gold.
No, that's gold.
But so now, if you look up old
Yeah.
gold, if
Look
that
up
says
old gold,
it's
Robbie.
Old gold.
You'll probably say it's gold.
See, the thing is,
but then gold
I'm-
is gold on the orange spectrum, because if it is, then if we allowed Blackpool, then we
I'd say
should
gold's
go
on
back.
the yellow spectrum.
Tubes is correct. Old gold is
agree.
a dark yellow,
Right.
which varies from
Yay!
like olive or olive
So
brown
we
to
were
deep
right.
strong yellow.
Okay.
I've got to say though that I'm Team Blackpool on this, and it should really be Tangerine. They called themselves the Tangerines, and I think that question was poor. I mean, I wrote it, but I think it's poor, and I think we need to have a recount and get the competitors back on and see if it would make a difference to that show. The actual Tangerine colour is F28500.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
was going to say that.
Do you say that, or do you say 28,500? How would you say that, or 28500?
We need a football team called the Clementines or the Satsumas.
The mandarins.
The
Mandarins. I've forgotten about
Satsumas, yeah.
mandarins. Easy
Never
peelers.
forget about mandarins.
Easy
Away at
peelers.
Easy Peelers.
Easy peelers are woke nonsense.
Aren't they?
Easy
Yeah.
Peelers are woke nonsense. The ultimate woke nonsense.
Yeah.
Blood orange.
I love
Yeah.
Santa put an easy
Backing.
peeler in your stocking, you'd be fuming.
Yeah.
Neil says, hi gang, Lisa Fowler shot Phil Mitchell. Sorry for the spoiler, Joe.
Thanks. Who's that?
That's Neil.
Cheers, Neil.
Neil
That
Perkins.
was Maggie
yeah.
Simpson.
Lisa Fowler. Who was Lisa Fowler? Obviously one of the Fowlers, anyway. But I don't know which one Lisa was.
Would it help if we gave you any information that would make it clear?
No, Robbie's sister. Oh, it's getting cold in there, isn't it? Oh, it's getting chilly. Oh, it's getting cold. It's getting cold. I can feel the temperature
teeth
drop.
chattering.
Baltic.
That can only mean one thing.
He's running down the left, he's running down the right, he's running down the left, he's running down the right. Cole Palmer is dynamite. It's Cole Palmer.
Yeah, it's freezing in here. Cole Palmer's here. He's cool. He's so cold. He's grabs for a scarf, but whose scarf is it? It's blue and white.
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Sheffield Wednesday.
Colchester.
There's a ball on the badge. There's a hand as well on the badge. There's a ball and a hand. The hand is showing a blessing sign.
What's a blessing sign?
There are 2 red squirrels either side of the
Chesterfield.
ball.
Chesterfield.
2 red squirrels. Oh, I've got 2. I've got him. Their motto is Confidemus, I trust.
Cardiff. No.
There's a nickname on the scarf. Killy. Kilmarnock, yes. Robbie, you got it. The winner is Robbie.
Yay. I mean, you just say Killy.
I went to Scotland. They've got I think that's the I think I'm doing the sign. I think it's that. You'll have to look it up on your phone or whatever. But I think belief sign. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, it's like cup sign or something. That's what the blessing sign is.
Oh,
Have you seen it? It's a ball with a hand and 2 squirrels sitting either side of it. Who's Kilmarnock's biggest rivalry?
Wow.
I mean, that's
Partick Thistle.
no
St Johnson.
No.
Stenhouse Muir.
You're just guessing Scottish teams now, aren't you?
Motherwell.
Yeah.
No.
Stranraer.
No, I'll give you a clue. It's the Ayrshire Derby. Kilmarnock versus
Ayr United.
Ayr United. Well done. Tubes wins. Well done. Got some questions coming in, which we'll answer on Friday's show. First football memory. We didn't do that last week, so we'll do that on Friday. Chris says, did Carl and Dids offer any resistance when they were kicked off the show? I don't know, so I'll find that out on Friday. Hopefully one of these guys will remember. And Andy says, from the current crop of Premier League footballers, who would you say could be a potential successful manager in years to come when their playing days are over? We will answer that on Friday. Helen, have you got tea? No, we're not on tea. We're on use. Have you got any use from our
Fans use.
Yeah.
I have. I've got a massive list of Murph, Danny Bradley, Daniel Thompson, Dee Matthews, Ellum Stephen, Tall Paul, The Northern Foodie, Nicky Clifford, Rubinho, Johnny Mack and Liam DeCann, who all say, unbelievable, Jeff.
Unbelievable, Jeff. Brilliant.
Unbelievable, Jeff. This is my favourite fan-submitted letter. AJ Linning, who says, Yuri Geller claiming to have moved the ball when Gary McAllister took that penno against England at Euro 96.
Yeah.
Shame he did that, because that's one of the questions on Friday.
You know,
Why did you throw that in? Damn.
I once held the ball, Jeff Hurst's hat-trick ball
Yeah.
from the 1966 World Cup final. Yuri Geller had signed it.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they'd wheeled it out in a subsequent World Cup to try and get him to bless it or whatever.
And he signed it.
To wish England luck in that upcoming World Cup. And he signed it.
Oh, no.
That's like having Salt Bay
Absolute
lift the World
liberty.
Cup.
Yeah. That's woke nonsense.
Yeah, that
Yuri
was
Geller signing the
total
World Cup was woke
nonsense.
nonsense.
Who's Salt Bay?
Salt
the
Bay's
bloke
the
who does
geezer
the
that
thing
sells
with
the
the
10 grand
steak. Steak.
Yuri Geller got involved at Exeter City, and it was crazy times. He had Michael Jackson down there for a game. But when he was involved there, where obviously when we were in the same league, Torquay fans used to go, and we used to chant for 90 minutes. You can stick your effing spoon up your ass. we would just chant it towards him for 90 minutes. It just those stupid little things, those stupid little songs that football fans make up that are ridiculous and funny.
How does Yuri Geller know everyone? How did he become He's just bending spoons, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
bending
hanging out with
spoons.
Michael Jackson.
Because people like to believe there's more. People like to believe in the supernatural, so people like to believe in it.
How's he met
you know?
Michael Jackson? Has he gone like,
Because
oh,
people like to believe stuff, you know? It's
I saw
like
some
they-
guy bending some spoons. Let's invite him round.
Yeah, but that's it. People like to believe there's more and there's more
Yeah.
powers. You go. You're an influencer. You should start doing that. Go on the internet. Go onto Instagram. Go onto TikTok. There's plenty of people out there with mystical, magical
Yeah.
cures and weird old diets and stuff. Any more yous?
Yeah. Johnny Fred, utility player. The girl utility
yeah.
player. Yeah. Milner, G-Sun Park, Young, Schlupp. Matt Legg says you're unsung heroes. They do all the dirty work in the game and don't get the credit. And as a Crystal Palace fan, Will Hughes. And Matt Walker says undisclosed fee, complete and utter woke nonsense.
indeed.
total woke.
I've got one.
Go on.
I've got a quick one to throw in. Mine is Steve McLaren's umbrella.
Oh, another question. Stop it. There's not
Oh,
many yous around. I
Yeah.
need these things for questions.
So sorry.
Luke says...
You're going to
sorry,
be knackered when you get to Z.
I know. Perry says underrated players. Merg says underdogs. Sam says under the lights midweek games. That's good.
yes, I love
And
it.
Lukey,
Always Anfield, isn't it?
and Lukey says up the Chelsea.
Yes.
Up the Chelsea.
Chills. Go on the Lukey boy.
Robbie's put his crown on, so that must mean Robbie's going first today. Robbie,
Did he win last week? Was he here last week?
Yeah, I won, Joe.
Yeah,
2 weeks in a
at
row. He's done
canter.
Is that the
2
first
weeks
time?
in a row.
It's not the first time, Chips. It's the second time.
Okay.
Yeah, I won. I won't win this week, but it's a good and interesting one anyway. So I've gone for you is for unexpected goal scorers, and more specifically, goal scoring goalkeepers.
So you've moved the U on to
Okay.
G.
You better have the two famous Torquay United ones in there. Otherwise, you can take that crown off right now.
Okay, did they play for any nations in South America? Right, the goal scorer, the goalkeeper who's scored the most goals.
Yeah.
How many goals do you think he scored?
Oh, it'd be a free kick
hang on, in
taking
one-
goalie.
World.
In world?
It was the goalie who took the free
I reckon-
kicks.
yeah, Chilavert. Was it Chilavert? Jose Luis Chilavert, 30 odd?
Very good. He's in second place with 67 goals.
67
No,
He
he's
scored
not.
between 1982 and 2004. He also holds the record for the most
67 on
international
Nancy
goals
Martial.
with 8. And he's the first goalkeeper to ever score a hat-trick.
Are you never gonna laugh?
My God.
True, he scored 3 pens. The number one is Rogério Ceni of Brazil, who scored 129 goals.
No, he didn't.
Oh, shut up.
No, he didn't.
59 free kicks and
Right.
69 pens.
Free kick
Oh.
takers, yeah.
In 5 different games, he
Yeah.
scored twice.
Right.
Right, so he's number one.
Yeah.
Third place,
Woke nonsense.
Jorge Campos. Are we pronouncing it Jorge?
Yeah,
Joe?
one of the
Mexico.
one of the tops.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he scored
short sleeve.
46 goals between 1988 and 2004. But he's unusual in that he scored most of his goals out on the pitch. Sometimes when he wasn't, they'd just play him out on the pitch. But sometimes they'd bring on, if they needed a goal, they'd bring on another goalkeeper and push him up.
That's amazing. Did he play short sleeved? Is that the one? Or
Campos. He always used to wear garish
yeah,
tops,
but
didn't he?
did he
Mexico.
go the short sleeved or was that another keeper?
Mate, I think
That
you're
was
right.
him. That was him.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
In his first season, he was competing for top scorer in the league at one
Wow.
point. Highest European goal scoring keeper is Dimitar Ivankov, who scored 42 goals between 1996 and 2012. So most of them do tend to be free kicks
So
and
just
pens.
remind us the U in that. I mean, it's very good. I really enjoyed it.
Unexpected
But
goal scorers.
unexpected goal scorers. Okay.
Lee Martin, 1990 FA Cup final.
but very specifically, goalkeepers.
Goalkeepers. Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
really you.
It's not really.
It starts
No.
with unexpected goalkeepers, open brackets,
Yeah.
very specific goal. Well,
Let's
Yeah.
go next. Should we let Tubes back in because he's not been around for.
Well, he might get the call any
Yeah, he
moment
might
now.
get-
Yeah,
Let's
so I might as well.
get
Yeah, I
it
might have
done
a
in
baby
case.
in the next couple of hours, so I
Yeah.
might as well go now. My U is for United States of America, American footballers that have played in the Premier League, and also it's going to sort of tie in with yours a little bit, Robbie, because of goalkeepers.
They
USA.
were all goalies, weren't they?
Yeah, they were all goalkeepers. Not all goalkeepers. You've got
Well, not
obviously
all of them, but
Anthony
yeah.
Robinson now playing for Fulham, who's an unbelievable left back. But predominantly, if you're talking about American players in the Premier League, They are goalkeepers.
Does it have to be
Friedel.
Premier League? Who was before Premier League? Because we had Roy Worsley at Chelsea, didn't we?
Roy Wegley, yeah.
Wegley, yeah.
Wegley.
Brad Friedel, Brad Guzan, Tim Howard, Casey Keller, Marcus Hanneman.
Clint Dempsey?
Yeah, but he was not a goalkeeper.
No.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just, I think it's really weird that a lot of them are goalkeepers. And I think that is generally because of American sports.
Catching.
NFL.
Baseball, yeah. NFL.
Isn't
Yeah.
the NFL the weirdest sport ever? Because you can. I remember speaking to a NFL player, and he was one of the big chaps who gets, hits
Linebackers.
people. One of those guys. And I said to him, "How often do you get to touch a ball in a game?" And he said, "If I'm touching the ball, something's gone really wrong." Can you imagine playing a sport where you never touch the ball? Like, that's insane,
That is
right?
bizarre.
So, like 2-3 players in any move, there's a couple of you going to touch the ball, isn't there?
You got kickers.
3.
You got-
Yeah.
Do you remember last week my tea was time wasting, and while I was researching how many minutes of a football match the ball was actually in play, it kept coming up with American football, and in a 3-hour game the ball is in play for 8 minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Though I have been,
3
I've been to
No,
see.
but the game's actually an hour long, isn't it? You get 4 15-minute quarters. So even then, 8 minutes is pretty poor, isn't it?
But I've seen 2 live, and they are brilliant.
Yeah,
Have you been?
I went with you.
No.
What?
I went with you. We were at Tottenham Stadium.
Oh,
didn't
I've seen 3 live then.
Yeah.
Tim, what?
Yeah, I've seen 3 because I've seen 2 in America. I saw Redskins versus Cowboys. It was the coldest I've ever been, but I was like 3 rows back when they hit each other. I mean, I've seen rugby as well. These guys, because they got the helmets and the pads, it's horrible. It's like boom, like 2 cars hitting each other. And I saw Dolphins versus who's Flash Gordon's team. Joe will know this. Who did Flash Gordon play for? It's his team. Who did Flash Gordon play
Flash
for?
Gordon's made up, isn't he?
He played American football. That's how he became Flash Gordon, wasn't it? He was an American football. Who did he play for? Like
I don't know what you're
up
on
there
about.
in the northeast. Like
New England Patriots?
no. Can you look it up because I haven't got any Wi-Fi? Anyway, go on, Tubes. So you
No, I just think it's interesting. The goalkeepers, all American.
who was the first ever American footballer over here? Do we know that?
I don't know.
Do we?
I know the most capped is Clint Dempsey.
Clint Dempsey. Okay.
I believe so.
Right.
First,
New York Jets, Tim.
New York Jets. There you go, New York Jets. That's a Dolphins v Jets. You didn't know Flash Gordon played for New York Jets?
But he's not real, though, is he, Flash Gordon?
Of course he is.
I thought he was a film
legend.
star.
He's
Flash
an
Gordon.
absolute legend.
Gordon's alive.
Gordon's alive.
Brian
Blessed.
Blessed was good when he came on, wasn't he?
He was. Anyone for stat chat?
Yes,
Well,
please.
yes.
You're going to like this. 3 great ones. Steve, thanks for sending these in, by the way. Keep sending them in. Steve says Tottenham have played 5 games versus 5 Manchester teams this season and won all 5. Is that a stat? Fact.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting because they haven't been playing that well yet. They beat everyone in Manchester. James said, England, I love this one. England are the only team to have ever won the World Cup playing in red.
Wow.
Really?
That's a great stat.
No, that's a fact.
It's both.
Fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben says Hull City is the only team in the Football League with a name.
No, hang on. Spain. What colour were they playing in when they won it? When they beat Holland.
Get on,
Holland were playing in Tangerine.
get on Wi-Fi, Robbie.
Okay, got it.
Quickly.
While you're doing that, Ben says Hull City is the only team in Football League with a name in which you
Can't be
can't
coloured
colour
in.
in any of the
Yeah.
letters because there are no closed letters in the words Hull and City. Robbie,
I'm just waiting because the internet's
the
not
internet's slow. Okay, that's stat chat.
Looks red to me.
Oh.
What are they wearing underneath that? That maybe. Oh, there's absolutely no chance Holland are playing in orange, and that's their warm-up
Okay.
shirts.
Are they-
Oh, no, Spain playing blue.
They
Oh,
play
Spain playing in blue.
Yeah.
And Holland played an easy peeler.
They played in Satsuma.
There's a little bit red on the socks.
Yeah. Can you look up the first American player? Like we've got what
I'd
is
say,
it?
well, doing some hard work today.
Yeah,
Robbie's
we've got
phone, isn't
Sato.
it?
We've got studio VAR.
Yeah.
here.
It could be Roy Wegley, you know.
Roy Wegley.
Yeah.
Wegley.
Well, he was a great player.
He was a
wasn't
very
Key
good
goal
player.
as
Yeah,
well.
very, very good for the Chills. Up the Chills.
Good
Helen,
Chills.
do you want to go next?
First
will.
American in the
Oh,
Premier
hold on.
League was John Harkes, but we want earlier than that, don't we?
Oh,
First
gosh,
in
John
English
Harkes,
football.
yeah.
First
Helen,
American to play for a major European soccer team.
yeah.
Go on.
It's quite a long article. You talk amongst yourselves.
Right, my U is it is from the PLE, which is the post Lovejoy era. Tubes will know all about this one though, and it is Unbelievable Tekkers.
Yes.
Did the show carry on after I left? I
Yeah,
thought-
it did. Yeah, I had a little stint.
I
Yeah.
thought they,
For a little while,
I thought they
yeah.
retired it, like they retire
No,
footballer numbers.
We carried on.
We retired your shirt.
Yeah.
This was a phrase that former footballer turned actor / presenter Andy Answer used while working on Wayne Rooney's Street Soccer. That was Sky
yeah.
One's reality show to find the most talented and skillful street footballer. I remember being in the Soccer AM office and one of the crew said, have you ever heard this phrase, unbelievable Tekkers, before? And I said, oh, come on, I'm a Torquay fan. What do you think? But the general consensus was it had never been heard before, but not even Tekkers either, not just the phrase unbelievable Tekkers. So we ran with it on the show. We put it on. It obviously stands for great technique. But we would find a little bit of outrageously filthy skill from the week, show it, and then pop the original clip of Andy saying he's got unbelievable Tekkers on it. People went mad for it. And we ran it for a couple of seasons, and our T-shirt that year even said unbelievable Tekkers on the front. And I think Andy even released his own clothing line called Tekkers. Now, a Google search returned the phrase is still being used today. In fact, somebody has written a couple of teenage fiction books called Tekkers. And there was a headline as recently as November that said, watch Kasper Schmeichel pull off unbelievable Tekkers against Kilmarnock. So in summary, unbelievable Tekkers, invented by Andy Answer, promoted by Soccer AM, embraced by the great football public, and all before social media ends.
Do you know what? I was on Instagram. I've been following these people, and I should know more about this. So it's going to be pretty rubbish, but they've taken the unbelievable Tekkers on a bit, and what they do is they launch long balls at each other. They've got to control it and pass it back, but they've got to find different ways to control it. And the skill level is unbelievable. There's a woman who does it, who absolutely, they've got to pass it directly back as well. So the ball's got to be arrowed back.
Stay in the air.
No, not necessarily,
No, okay.
but generally they do. Their skill level is off the
It's
scale.
like when you watch Foden and Grealish warming up, innit? Just
that's
knocking it to each other. One
unbelievable.
touch, volley back, bang,
Yeah.
never touches the deck.
You know, I used to start going to Chelsea early to watch the players warm up after a while, because I used to go down to the pub when I was young, up
Yes,
the
me too.
Chills. But I started going to watch Ronaldo. Oh my God, the skills of Ronaldo were unbelievable. The stuff some of those players were doing, and it wasn't like that, was it, in the 80s and 90s? It's sort of when Soccer AM came on, the skills level started going
Well, there's
up.
all those videos on YouTube of like Maradona warming up in the
Yeah,
winter.
yeah.
Just,
Unbelievable.
sensational.
I must say, Helen, we had some of those guys come down to the show once when I was there, when the show was in its pomp. And sorry, I just thought I'd throw that in there. And those guys came down and they started doing keepy-uppies with the ball. And I went out to play with them, and they play with flat balls.
Oh,
Guys who do the control games, because obviously it's easier to do keep-ups with a flat ball. But these days, they're fully pumped
it's
up, the guys,
unbelievable.
the skills they've got.
ready to go
VR.
far.
We've got
there we
From
go.
now on, I'm only going to. If you want to refer something to me, you have to do the hand signal that the
Yeah,
refs
right.
do,
Fair.
or I'm not going to look it up.
Fair enough.
So, the first American to play in England,
Was.
Jim Brown, who represented the United States in the 1930 World
Oh,
Cup.
God, Brownie.
Played for Man U and Spurs.
Right.
Some
Like-
leagues were
like
not
Teddy
as
Sheringham.
early to adopt American players. The first player in Spain, the first American to play professionally in Spain was Casey Keller.
Right.
So that's quite recent.
Yeah.
So there we go.
But what about, okay.
I've
I'm not satisfied with that answer, are you? 'Cause
What?
I wanted to. I don't know.
Do you want the truth or do you want something that
No,
satisfies
I
you?
wanted to hear something better than that.
Flash Gordon.
Okay, the first one was Roy Wegley. Happy?
Flash Gordon
That's
played
better.
a couple of games for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is he real, Flash Gordon?
Of course he has played for Wednesday.
Joe, do you want to go?
Yeah, go on, what is it this week?
You.
You.
You got one?
Okay, right. Okay, well, since we were talking about American sports, did you know American sports are not allowed to be called off? Just not because of the weather.
Why?
Just not, but just get on with it, lads.
Why are they
well,
not?
NFL, not
Right.
baseball. NFL games are not allowed to be called off because of the weather. Just get on with it.
Right.
Which is why I'm going for under soil heating for you this week. That's a genuine you, Robbie. Under.
Yeah.
Have a go at me. He just said a load of goalkeepers American. That was his.
United States of
That was the
America.
extent of his
American
one. He got away with
Yeah,
it.
but it's interesting, isn't it? And look at the conversation that opened. We're all talking about Roy Wegley. It's all
Did.
like
We
brings
went
us
to
all
VAR.
closer together.
Yeah.
to VAR and everything.
To do
Yeah,
the work
exactly.
for you.
Thank you.
So
Robbie.
it's not an
Give me
official
that hat.
requirement to have under soil heating in the UK, whereas in Germany, all the top two divisions have to have it by law, otherwise
Right.
you're not playing. The first ground in
I
England.
can tell you.
Well, let me check if you're right.
I
The
can tell
first
you-
ground in England to have under soil
can
heating
tell you-
was.
The problem is it's a question on the on the quiz on Friday.
Your quiz is
It's-
absolutely
Well,
good.
Quiz in the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Quizzes,
yeah,
yeah.
but if they haven't listed.
Oh, right, okay.
go
It's
on.
Goodison.
Goodison Park, correct?
1970 something.
No.
1950 something.
1958.
Yes, 1958. Yeah.
Arsenal got one in 64, Leeds 68. Liverpool didn't get one at Anfield until 1980. In the early 70s, Leicester used to put a big polythene tent over the pitch
Nice.
at Filbert Street, and they had blowers underneath it to try and keep the pitch defrosted.
Strawberries. They were growing strawberries.
Yeah, they were like a big garden centre. But it didn't really work. And so more and more clubs started getting under soil heating installed to avoid calling games off and losing cash. So you don't have to dig the pitch up, gets ploughed in, takes about 5 days to install. It's basically like a big central heating system that you can just keep on either low and steady to keep the ice and frost away, or you can whack up the thermostat and give it a good blast. You can even do it through an app on your phone, depending on your service provider. Usual terms and conditions apply. Please check the small print to avoid unnecessary costs. A day's fuel costs about $3,500.
What?
On under soil on a football pitch. So it's
too
not
much.
cheap. It can cost you up to 10 bags to get a game on. Old Trafford has 18 and a half miles of piping under the pitch. Ellen Road has 59 miles of piping because they do it proper because it's in York. Yeah. But don't do like the groundsman at Rotherham once did. End of the season, he went off on holiday to Corfu. He left the heating on all summer, didn't he? Chairman nearly fell off his chair when the heating bill landed on the doormat, nearly bankrupted the club and left nothing in the transfer kitty for new players.
Do they ever turn it up?
True.
The end. Oh, no.
The end.
Do they ever
Under
turn
soil
it up too hot? So it's like when you step on the sand at the beach and you're like,
heating. Yeah.
I like all of these. I think they're all very good. There's only me to go. And I think mine is possibly going to win this week because I've
I'm going to put that over there.
done
for
something
Joe.
very
Have you
good.
done your own homework
But before
this
we
week?
do mine, in anticipation, everybody going, whoa, what's Tim's going to be? I bet it's great. This is the week he wins. Should we do a Guess the Goal with Peter Selby?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do that.
Peter Selby gets the goal.
Plenty of defenders coming forward for this corner from the right. Left-footed entering into the penalty spot. Over its intended targets. The ball hits an attacking defender's thigh. Bounces forward into the 6-yard box. The forward spins, turns, misses the ball. The ball bounces off the goalkeeper. And then it's prodded in from only a couple of yards out. And it's a goal in the second half of extra time. They reeled away to the far side in celebration, but turn back to look at the referee. Will the goal stand? The goal does stand. The goal scorer takes off their shirt, swings it around in the air, and they lead in the second half of extra time.
Joe, you look like you got it. Have you got it?
Extra time.
The only reason I kind of know that, I think, is because it's extra time and it's VAR, the checking and swinging. Is it the Lionesses?
Chloe Kelly, England Euro winner,
Yeah.
2022.
You are literally unbelievable
Joe is
at
on
this game.
fire as always. Let's hear what it should sound like.
Corner to England from the right. It's going to be Beth Mead, left-footed in-swinging. The likes of Jill Scott are forward on the penalty spot. Left-footed in-swinging to the penalty spot. Over Jill Scott. It bobbles forward into the 6-yard box. Chloe Kelly spins and misses. The ball bounces off the goalkeeper. And Chloe Kelly prods it in from only a couple of yards out. And England lead in the second half of extra time. Will the goal stand? Yes, it does. Chloe Kelly takes off her shirt, swings it in the air. And England are in front in the Euros final at Wembley.
I was in a train station waiting to go up to the
Goosebumps.
Highlands of Scotland.
Yeah, I was on Greece on holiday.
Greece on holiday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I watched the game.
Why are England men called the Three Lions, whereas the women are called the Lionesses? Why is it not the Three Lionesses or the Lions?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Come on, FA
Dunno.
marketing, pull your finger out.
I'm doing the VAR sign.
Hang on. You've done the sign, so legally I have to look it up.
By the way, Peter Selby is a descriptive commentator for the Partially Sighted, and he will do another goal for us hopefully next week. Right, that just leaves me. I'm doing something different today.
Okay. Is this your week?
This is my week, I
Yeah.
think, because this week I think football fans always get neglected. Do we agree with that? Players and everything else comes before the fan. They've got state-of-the-art training facilities, haven't they? And we're still queuing an hour for get a brew, a bovril or something at half time. And USA, as we all say, they it's not, the U is not for USA. But have you been to any sporting events in USA?
Yeah.
I have.
They come to your seat, they feed you food, they look after you, they give you drinks. And everything there is just a better experience. And us in Britain, we've struggled to keep up with times, and especially back in the day. My U is for urination.
Okay.
In a desperate attempt to win this week, I'm going for
You got to piss yourself.
urinals. Now, this is like if you're a kid, this might not resonate as much with you as the older ones amongst us. But 1990 was the Taylor Report, and they said build new grounds, and we got basically a new sport because all the grounds got built and they had to get safety inspections. Before that, all the stadiums were horrific.
Yeah.
And there was nothing more horrific, and people will be in their cars and on the walks and jogging, nodding their heads, as the urinals in football stadiums. They were absolutely horrific. They were just walls with a little thing at the bottom, weren't
It's a
they?
urine wall.
What?
It's just a wall you
It's just a wall you had to urinate against. And I remember when I used to go to Stamford Bridge, by the T-bar, you know, the T-bar tube. So there's a shed was split into three. There was the white wall middle and the T-bar. And we used to stand up by the T-bar. And the urinal behind there. And I think actually, if I remember correctly, all the rest of the shed used to come along in there. And I was a young kid. I was probably 13, 14, something like that when I first went up to Stamford Bridge. And it was still the age. There was like a lot of skinheads and stuff around in those days, even though I was a bit of a casual. There was a lot of skins. And I remember going into the urinal with grown men, and I was having to stand there against the wall with these guys shoving their way in, loud, drunk, Chelsea, woo, you know, up to Chelsea and all that sort of stuff. And I found that it was quite a horrific experience. And as a young man, I felt quite vulnerable by this, and I've paid for it, because when you're a young man, you've got all your instinct. I'm getting the colonel out to go for salute the colonel. I'm getting the colonel out to go for relieve myself, and I'm surrounded by skins and big guys.
Is this a podcast or a therapy session?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I think I'm opening myself up now, Joe, because I actually have something called bashful bladder. And bashful bladder, I'll give you the...
Sounds like a superhero.
The definition. It's
Flash Gordon.
Sorry, can you not take the mickey out of me? Because I'm...
Flash Gordon's cousin.
Record running yards.
In a
Bashful bladder.
In a desperate bid to win this, I'm going to tell you about my bashful bladder, which I have. It's a social anxiety disorder that makes it difficult or impossible to urinate in public. Now, there'll be a lot of men out there who have this too. Women don't suffer from it because they have cubicles. Men have to stand alongside each other, and there's some of us, and I swear, before going into those bloody toilets behind the T-bar at the shed, before that, I think I was fine just to go weeing wherever I wanted to, like a guy does, just spray around wherever you want in front of whoever. Then I suddenly had bashful bladder, and I was like, I remember standing there shocked, going, "Oh my God, I'm not sure what I can do now." It's like that. And so there's been many occasions I've been desperate to go to the toilet, and I've struggled, all because of that. So I have paid for being a football fan because of the horrific state of the urinals in football grounds. So that is my U. And I'm going to finish with a fact here. Wembley Stadium has the most toilets of any building in the world. How many toilets do you think Wembley Stadium has?
10.
How many?
In the world?
312.
2,000.
No, yeah, in the thousands.
2,618. So, in summary, I've suffered by giving my money to Ken Bates, turning up to watch the Blues, and having to go to those horrific urinals where I got myself a social anxiety disorder. I thank you. If I don't win now, it's like a therapy. So I've laid myself bare here, haven't I, on the podcast? People might ridicule me now. All right, bashful.
For a wee, Tim, of course you are, mate. Yeah, I reckon you'll be able to do that. you'll be waiting till you get home.
I've got to have won. Right, before we find out whether I've won or not, Helen, have you got any what's wrong with footballs?
Yeah, Paul says the BBC loving saying super fan. I haven't really tuned into that. I don't know.
Basically, if you support a club, they call you a super fan, I think.
Yeah.
So they'd go, Joe Bolton super fan.
Super fan, yeah.
Tim, Chelsea super fan. Yeah.
What
I
makes
like
you a
this
super
one.
fan?
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
What
so I
does
guess
make
they
you a
just...
super
yeah.
fan?
Yeah.
So,
Home and away, innit? Go away. Don't you go away. Call yourself a football fan. Don't go away.
The thing about football fans is it's all one way. You never get anything back, do you? I mean, obviously you get the product on the pitch, but it's all one way. They never pay you any money. So it's you're giving the club money all the time or the Sky subscription. It's all one way.
I got that free Bovril at Christmas at Norwich.
Oh, yeah, no, sorry, you
So
did.
it's not all
You
one
did.
way.
You did, yeah. We sometimes get free scarves and flags at Stamford Bridge, the home of football. Can I just stop 1 second? Does everyone remember how horrific those urinals were?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there used to be a lot of spray back.
It was literally a wall,
Yeah,
bricks.
he used
and-
to come back at you.
That's the thing, wasn't it? You'd
Yeah.
be standing there and I'd have me Diodora Beyond Borg Elites on. I'd be
Yeah.
thinking, oh my God, there's urine everywhere. Like, well, I don't want the laces to go
Stones,
yellow.
weren't they? Like, yeah, of course you remember.
As a
that.
young kid,
Everywhere you went.
sometimes I'd come back after half time covered in piss.
Because it was how horrific was that experience?
Pinged off the wall.
It
I
does-
remember the sound as well. Grrr,
Like a lion, like Tony the Tiger here for a week.
It was.
It wasn't always for my worst experience. So you think that women, because we've got our cubicles, but I remember going Swansea away, and there were two ladies' toilets. There was no roof on the toilets, and there was just the bowl. There was no seat. There was no lid. There was no toilet paper. There was no sink. So you just had to hover over
No
the bowl.
sink.
No sink to wash your hands in afterwards.
No Joe to wee.
Didn't exist. Just nothing. No roof, no doors. So you just went in, and it was the weirdest thing ever. That was Swansea away, I don't know, like nearly 30
But all the
years
grounds, when
ago.
you used to tour around,
Yeah,
until
like
the Taylor
Oakwell
report,
yeah.
you could go anywhere you go, it'd be
yeah.
just like this wall, and it'd be so. I wonder where it all went. Is there like cesspits under
Drain,
these,
Drain
under these
after,
grounds?
innit, yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
Are we live streaming this?
Yeah.
We streaming. That was one of your best jokes. One of your best jokes ever. When Michelle Wee started to get good at golf on the All Sports show, Soccer M All Sports show, and we did a thing. And here's Michelle Wee playing in this tournament, blah blah blah, on the whatever hole. And you said, if you want to carry on watching this, if you want to carry on watching, we streaming, press the yellow button now.
I bet she had
I always
decent
thought-
toilets.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Someone remembers one of them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
so my urinal thing was quite good because I was tapping into the fans rather than just speaking about the game all the time. I was trying to go for the fans' experience.
Are you just going to
He's trying to
keep
influence
going
the
until you
judges
think you
here,
win?
isn't he? Yeah.
I know.
This is
and I'm
Joe's
still,
this.
Come on, there's
I'm
so
in
many-
the middle of
There's so
what's
many
wrong
people.
with football.
There's so many people who are listening to this going, God, Lovejoy's got a really good point there. The toilets were horrific. We were treated terribly, weren't we, back in the day at football
It's
grounds?
just the way it was.
Yeah. Bit of milky tea and a wee against a wall. Sorry, Helen, carry on.
I like this what's wrong with football the best. Jasper says when the assistant ref or fourth official is hanging on to a substitute with his arm across him before they come on, before the other one comes off.
Yes.
He says it's childish. Just let them get on with it. It's childish
No,
behaviour.
I like it.
you can't go on. 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 You can't. Okay, he's over the white line. You can go on now.
They don't check their studs anymore, do they?
Do they do this checking of the studs beforehand?
Oh, maybe
Yeah,
they do.
I think
Maybe
definitely. I
they
reckon
do,
the
yeah.
referee comes in the
Yeah.
change room before.
I like the holding back bit. I think it's good.
Rubbish.
Because obviously they're doing it for a reason. There must be an instance where people are just running on willy-nilly and they had to go, no. They've only got themselves to blame.
Yeah, probably somebody came on and nobody came off. CTLT says the introduction of that XG to analyse meaningless stats. We now have fullbacks that don't beat a man. They're always looking for the easy pass backwards. 90% of football games is absolute possession-based drivel.
Yeah.
Pete hates it. My Pete hates this expected goals. He
Yeah,
says,
that is woke nonsense.
Get it in the mixer.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hit the
And Alistair Robson says, third division clubs like Brentford and Brighton being in the top flight. But you can have Bournemouth to that as well. So I remember Torquay playing Bournemouth. I love it. I love the way he says third division clubs because that's how we remember them. Yeah. My team playing all of those.
Right, now, while Helen makes her mind up whether this is a fans podcast or whether we're just going to do willy-nilly sort of American style stuff and or whether she's gonna-
Willy-nilly, literally.
Willy-nilly,
Yeah.
So I threw that in there, subliminal.
Yeah, clever.
This is a bit woke nonsense. Bunting says technical areas let the managers run down the touchline. Woke nonsense, agree. Tongham says small steps when taking a penalty. Woke
is woke
nonsense.
nonsense,
Ooh, I
Jordan
hate that.
says long-sleeved undershirts rather than the actual long-sleeve shirts.
Yes.
Yeah, woke
Total
nonsense.
woke nonsense.
And Karmaki says players dodging the opposition badge when painted on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
Woke nonsense. We're a fan show. Who's won this week, Helen? Copy Joe.
It's Joe.
Oh, God. That hurts.
Understood.
Yeah, because
To be fair, it is. I mean, mine wasn't even a you. It's just saying there's loads of American goalkeepers, and he just said he can't go for a wee. So he's anyone who did the task.
I
presented
laid
for us.
myself bare for the podcast. I'm going to be
you
open
did,
to
but
ridicule. I'm going to be open to ridicule. Please let me have
cannot
it, Joe.
award a crown for urination. But Joe taught me things that I didn't know. Joe
You
gave
learned
me the
about his bashful
visual.
bladder syndrome.
That's the end of this
Yeah.
week's
but I don't
podcast. We'll be back
care.
on. You don't care. That's it. You don't care. We'll be back on Friday when we are quiz and questions. We'll be answering the question: what was your first football memory? We will see you on Friday. I was robbed.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch last week's great episode. Click here. Where is it?